Hello, beautiful. Welcome or welcome back to She Glows by Glory. I am your host, Shekinah Glory, and on today's episode, you get to sit down with me and one of my good friends, Dierra, as we talk about what it's like being two introverts that are living in an extroverted world. Get ready to laugh with us because we sure did have a great time. Now, let's get into our episode. Everything is fine.
Oh, okay. It's on. All right.
Okay, we're good. We're good. Anyway, hi.
Hi, y'all.
Welcome back. How have you been? How has your January been? This January has gone on for 27 years.
It is still January.
And it's still January.
That's crazy. It felt like it was January a year ago. Well, it was.
Like a year ago. It's been January for a year now.
It literally
my
has.
New Year
Which is
starts next month.
crazy. That is not how that works.
Are you sure?
No,
that's
it's
exactly
not
how
how
it's
that
working
works.
for me.
But like, it seems like last year went by like that.
It went by really fast.
Like it's insane. And like then
I blinked and it was December. So.
And then this January wants to like drag on.
But then watch the rest of the month.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
But you know it's true.
It's gonna. I'm trying to figure out. Well, that last January moved by. Well, it moved out the way real fast.
It did what it needed.
That's when I was moving here.
That's true. That's true.
That was like, let me.
No, that was 2 Januaries ago.
That was one. I've been here on the 28th. It'll be a year here.
Why do I feel like it was the end of 2022?
Because it was the end of 2022, beginning of 2023. We are in. Okay,
we're here now. We're here now.
Yes, you're right.
I was like, wait. So it has been a year. Yeah, because then I moved to my apartment.
In March. Was it March? April? May? It was March, April, or May.
It was a time period.
It was right there.
I had the same brain fart with Jessica trying to figure out when I moved here. And
I think it was March, April, May. It was around that time.
It was May.
For sure it was May.
It was May of 2023.
Last year. Are you saying like in Dallas or here in this apartment?
Dallas.
I don't know that.
It was May of 2022. 22. I almost said 21. It was May 2022. I moved into this one last May.
Yeah, I remember that.
My lease is coming up, and I cannot
wait.
Already? Yes, I'm here? I'm ready to renew it.
Wait, in May or you did a 6 month? May's not coming up.
May is coming up.
May is not coming
up. I already got
We have 5 more months.
I got the email asking, are you going to
half a year?
They're already like, hey.
Well, is that like, no, it doesn't. It's not even 60 days.
I know. But it's coming soon. Like, it's getting on in here. But I'm going to stick beside it.
I ain't going to. So you are renewing.
I'm renewing here. I don't have the mental capacity to try to move again.
You know what? I'm going to tell you this. Don't tell God that. Please don't let him hear you. God, repent.
I'm sorry.
Because I told God that. He was like, when I was in my last apartment back in 2022, I was like, God, this is it. Like, next time I move, it's going to be either in the grave or in a house that I built. Like, I am not doing this. Or I'm going to have to buy everything over because I hate moving. Like, I cannot do this.
I can't.
And he said,
bet.
Like, got you. Understood. September, he was like, let's go. Let's get on out of here.
Me, my whole thing with him was I didn't want to have to move again until there's a ring on this finger. And I have to like get something.
Think about that.
Yeah, I don't want to move until I'm married. Like, so when I say like I'm okay here, I have peace here.
That's interesting.
You ain't gotta move me again.
I want to be in a house before I'm married. Like that's one of my checklists off. Like I cannot get married until I have my own house. Like that I'm buying. Like
I understand that. I thought about that too, but I also want to.
Because why not?
I was in the middle of like, do I want to buy a home with him or do I want to build it? And I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, I want to renovate one, like to get the bone structure.
You want the middle. You're like, I don't want to buy one.
I don't want to wait for it to be built because
I want to do it.
Yeah. So
I definitely want to buy a house before I'm married because that is a stigma for a lot of females. Like you have to have it with your husband. So I want to break that stigma, and I'm like, watch me.
I get that.
And then it's going to be an investment property. So I'm bringing something. Yeah, I'm bringing. Yeah.
I like it.
So we're going to get our house, and this is going to be a rental property. And since you are a man, you will be doing all of the maintenance.
That's all you, Bookie.
The washer broke down. We're texting the wrong number. Like,
why are you telling me this? I have nothing to do with that
contact
one.
my husband.
Like, I can't wait to be my husband.
Oh, my husband, y'all, to death.
It's gonna be fantastic.
When I get a boyfriend, my boyfriend, y'all.
My man.
I kid you not.
I'm gonna let y'all know. Y'all probably won't know when I have a boyfriend.
My close knit friends will.
That part.
But it's this girl I know, and she got a man, and they've been dating for like umpteen years. And I just found out about it, and I was shooketh. Like, we're not close or anything like that. I just know her. I was shooketh, and I was like, that's what I want. Nobody to know. Except for, like, my close-knit friends and family. Like, because, one, it's not y'all's business.
Exactly what you need to know for.
Like, I mean, like, no post on socials, no nothing.
When I say the hard launch will be the engagement photo.
We're going to literally be pop up at our honeymoon when y'all find out.
Like, I think I like this man. I took his last name. I think I like him.
We're literally going to be at the honeymoon stage. Like, you're going to see us with our first kid in our home that we bought together 1 year married, talking about, like, this is my new husband. You're going to be like, what?
Soft launch. Welcome to the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
This is Dierra. I'm gonna let her introduce herself.
Let me not introduce me. I'm Dierra. I am 27 years old. I'm a social worker. I love God in everything I do. I'm not a perfect Christian. Nobody is. So I want to start there. So you hear me say that, and then you watch the rest of this video. I don't want you thinking nothing, because I'm not a perfect Christian. That's just it. I have a brand, Minding My Mental. I have made 3 self-care journals. I only sell 2 of them. Yeah, I mean, I just be chilling, y'all. I just be a social worker and creating things.
Let me tell you about how we met.
How did we meet? I called you.
We met. So we met in the group me chat.
Oh,
yeah. And you sent me a shirt.
Did I?
Yeah.
One of these?
No, not one of those. I think you bought me a God is Dope shirt.
Oh my gosh.
That was me.
Did I?
Yes.
Shut up.
You were like, I want to buy somebody a shirt. I was like, I mean, I'll take it.
No, y'all, that medium. I was like, who wears a medium in the group? And you were like, I do. I was like, cool, what's your address? Yeah. I forgot about that. You remembered that?
I remembered that.
And you have said nothing. Y'all, like, this is my best friend now. Since 2022, I think I called her random. Was it like I called you?
It was yes.
I called you and I was like, I haven't told anybody, but I'm trying to move to Dallas. Can you
It was
help
both
me?
a call and a text message. It was like, I'm trying to move. I need your list. Like
a text, call and text. But and then like ever since then, I think we've talked on the phone every single day since then.
Give or take, pretty much.
Yeah, like there. Yeah. I forgot about that shirt.
Listen.
I forgot about the group message.
Reason I remembered it because I was like, how did we really, really meet? And that was the first time we like spoke because you were like, hey, somebody, got a shirt, it's a medium, who wants it? And I didn't it didn't click to me
that definitely
that it was you until I went back because I still have the group me.
Do you?
Nobody talks in there.
I do not have the group me at all.
Well, I also am in Noelle's book club on there.
Okay, that makes
sense.
Like,
I still have some conversations on there. So I was like, oh, dang. Okay. And then when we met in person, she forgot that we hadn't met in person.
I was so mean.
She was like, huh?
She ran to, we were at church and I texted her and I was like, hey, I'm already sitting down. And she was like, where are you? And I gave her where I'm at and I was like, I'm going to just come meet you. And she starts running to me and I'm like, yo, calm down. Like, what is wrong with you, girl? And then like, it wasn't until she got in her car to drive off, I stopped her. I was like, wait, it's my first time meeting you.
We're sitting at lunch
all Sunday, like from 9:00 a.m. And it's like 1:00 now.
Eating dinner, talking about, I just realized this is the first time we're meeting.
It was really, yeah. It just felt like it wasn't though.
Our relationship hasn't felt new.
Ever.
It's felt familiar.
It's crazy.
I love that for us.
I think it's weird.
No, it's very weird because I'm not this. I said I love it. I didn't say it wasn't. It's not normal because
like we talked very first time we talked on the phone was what, like 4 or 5 hours. Like I was door dashing. You remember that man? That lady tried to kidnap me for
Wait a
$3.
minute.
You remember? You was on the phone with me, and it was like her house in the backwoods. And she was like, "Get out the car." And I was like, "No." She was like, "I have money for you." Was that you on the phone with me?
No.
It was you on the phone with me.
I don't remember that conversation.
Oh my gosh! And she had $3 rolled up, and I made my mama unroll it because I was scared. I thought it was drugs in there. So I was like, "Lay me out."
Oh, I remember that. She was giving crackhead energy.
And definitely crackhead energy. And I'm pretty sure I made my mama open the money. I was like,
Mhm.
"You can have it. Like you can have this $3."
For coming with me.
She didn't even
Consultation
come
price.
with me. It was just me. You were on the phone. I was just scared to open it. I took it and just sat it in my dad's. Mom was like, "What's this money doing here?" I was like, "I'm not opening that. Drugs
Like,
could be in there. We
what
could
if
both
it-
pass out right now. Somebody can kidnap us."
I love that.
That's how I feel.
Oh, snap. Anyway, this is our normal conversation we have with each other. So today's conversation is introverts living in an extrovert world. As you can tell, we're comfortable with each other, but we're both very much introverts. Like,
It's really bad, actually.
it's painful. It's so painful.
Hate it.
But both of our jobs require us to be extroverts in some capacity.
My job has the word social in it, just to let you know. Anything social. And it's crazy because I wanted to be a social worker since I was 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Insane.
Yeah, no, my job was not what was in the cards for me.
Insane.
So I think I wanted to be a nurse. Yeah, I wanted to be a nurse.
Still an extrovert job.
Still an extrovert job, but something about poking people made me happy as a child, and that's what therapy is for.
That's what therapy is for.
It is. That's what it's for. Because, like, why were you like that? But, you know, my job does fit my personality very well these days.
Really?
I think so. Because I can turn it on and off.
Because you can go in the back of the plane and, like, chill out. Like,
Exactly.
Put your earphones in and you're done.
I'm done.
Listen,
I tell people, they're like, what are your favorite positions? I'm like, either I'm the lead and I'm only having to deal with, like, maybe 20 people at a time, or I'm in the back galley setting up those carts in the back, and I really ain't got to deal with nobody until it's time to do the actual drink service. And then even then, I'm only doing like maybe 4 or 5 rows. So I'm really not having to interact with a lot of people. But the lead position, which is crazy that it's my favorite, I have to deal with the most people. That is the fakest I'll ever be.
I feel that. I'm a social worker. I mean, I deal with people all day, like, and I have to hear about their problems, and I hope none of them see this. But I don't care. I do not
I don't
care.
have enough to care about it.
I do not care. Like, they come to me with like the smallest stuff. Like somebody came to my office the other day, Miss Hamburg. I was like, "Oh my, what? What could you possibly want? You just had surgery. What?
Why
and
are
you're
you
standing
here?
up. Like what?" They told me my appointment was at 11:30. So now I'm like, "Oh my gosh, did you miss your appointment?" No, I made it on time. Why are you in my office? Like, get out. Like, I do not like.
You're their bestie.
Can I? Besties with old people is insane.
This conversation is going everywhere and nowhere all at once. I love that. Anyway, my question that I had that was gonna kind of spawn our conversation is
cool. Questions. I didn't know that.
It's just one.
You didn't tell me that.
It's just one, and I did tell you what it was.
Oh, you did? Okay,
yes,
cool,
I did.
Cool. I
mentioned it more or less, like the reasoning behind the conversation was like God putting us in our.
I do remember that.
Okay, like God putting us in our careers, and how we're having to really pull on Him in order to like show up as our best selves. Because if I show up as who I want to show up as, I will lose my job.
I do show up as I want to show up as. I show up as who I want to show up as, if that makes I tried to say what she said, but I do that. Yeah.
You show up as your most authentic self.
Oh, wholeheartedly. My door automatically locks when it closes. So if my door is not open, don't talk to me. And that's like literally my hours is 12. Nope, it's not even 12 to 1 because that's lunchtime. From 2 to 3 are my available times. I will keep my door open. Other than that my door is closed. Yeah, you have an hour to complain to me. You better get here fast.
No, so I told my mom, it was like, there's this little, I saw it on TikTok, a little ticket thing where somebody would go pick up the ticket and it is like now serving. I can see you doing that.
No, for real.
I can see you doing that.
No, for real. I will.
I can find it on Amazon.
Please.
Okay.
And I would hang it out, and like we would love that because I do have like random people just come knock on my door and you open it, and it's a family member, and it's like,
Yeah,
but like
but if you're busy,
I do have to pull on God. Some like I will say like I pray in the morning, of course. I do my worship going to work, and then like I sit out there because y'all believe it or not, residents wait at the door for me. Like they sit at the door or the door I come in and they wait at me. And if they're not at the door, they're at my office door waiting on me. And I pray. I'm like, God, can't do this without you. Give me the strength. And that's my prayer. And I grab my stuff and I go in. And boy, do you know it. I walk in. Hi. I'm like, can I put my stuff down? Like,
please.
And I'm like, can I put my stuff down? And I'm like, God, you haven't activated yet because like
Holy Spirit, activate.
You knew that this was gonna happen. And so like I go like, and every day is different, honestly. And every day like I do have to pull from God for that strength to be the social bug, because I do have instances where like residents are fighting and I have to be like, what's going on? And I have to stay late. I have to do all of that stuff. And I do have to be like the social bug by talking to all of these residents, getting all of these stories, doing all of this. But there are some days, and I really feel like God is on my side, and He is my best friend on that day. When I don't have to talk to anybody, I can just
because I think He knows.
That was like when I worked from home on Monday. That was probably the only time, and I really feel like me and God were best friends in my job because
Felt that.
I was at home
because I had no one around. See, with me, it's not that I don't show up authentically as myself because I can't help who I am. Like I am who I am. But I know that I also have a tendency to be withdrawn. And so like being actively engaged at work takes a toll on me. And so my prayer is usually, Lord, guard my mouth, hold my tongue, and let's have a great day. And He be doing it. Like I know I wouldn't be able to get through a day where everything falls apart like last week with the whole Philadelphia thing, where I would have probably gone off on somebody with just how everything fell apart. And then on top of that, you have pre-scheduling acting like they don't know what's going on. You have coworkers who are doing too much, and you're just sitting there like, I would just like to go see my back of my eyelids, please. Like I just want to go rub my feet together like crickets under this hotel bed. So please.
And then for you, you don't even get to go home and recharge. You have to go to like hotels to recharge. There's a difference in going home to recharge and like going to a hotel and recharge. Because when you go home, it's like, this is my piece. Like this is mine. You go to a hotel, you're like borrowing it.
Like, and on top of that, like with the way that they have been building our schedules as of lately, it's not even like I have enough time to like fully decompress at the end of a work day before I'm having to get back up and do it over again. And so like last night, me and my coworkers, we all got off the aircraft singing, having a good time, and one of the gate agents turned around, she's like, y'all must be going home. We said, yep. Like all four of us were like, we are leaving, we're going home,
do not call me,
like we're done. Like this trip, it wasn't a bad trip, like, and I really thank God for the days that I'd have like extremely great trips. I have good crews, and then I have good trip. Like everything's good, nothing falls apart, there are no delays, no cancellations, my passengers aren't cussing people out, they're actually sitting in their seat, I don't have to yell sit down. Like
praise God.
Great days,
I would have shouted. I would have shouted.
Listen, so that's how I be feeling sometimes. But when I allow Him to like be there for me, I have better days. Even when everything is falling apart, like people are like, you just so smiley, like you're so. I'm like, thanks. I used to not be like this. Like I used to, like people would ask, what is your problem? And I don't have a problem. This is just my face. I don't have a problem.
I get that all the time, actually. At this point, like when they say, what is your problem? You for asking me that. Guys, I told y'all to keep that in mind.
He's working on me yet. But yeah, no, it's one of those things I'm like, I have to actively think about not saying what I want to say, but also knowing that He ain't gonna let me say nothing out of my neck. Like I'm pretty chill about just letting things roll off my back, which I've come a long way with that. Because I used to snap right then and there. But now it's like, And I love
Mm.
that.
Because I'm still, I don't know.
It's a work in progress.
For me, I don't care too much like that, and that's
Mhm.
like my true authentic self. Like I am a mixture of nosy and like mind my business. I'm the mixture of like I literally do not care and I care too much. And like the stuff that really I should care about and be concerned about, don't care about. Like
the most important
you can
stuff.
come scream in my face and I probably will laugh at you because I've had that happen to me like just last week. Like screaming in my face and I just bust out laughing because girl, you're crazy. Something is wrong.
But
with
I
you.
think not calling the expressions outlandish, but when they come out of in nowhere, they feel outlandish, so you laugh
Because
like
what?
it came out of nowhere.
It's the whispers that I care about.
You're not wrong.
The loudness, I could care less. Be loud, let me go. It's the whisper that I'm like, hold on. And that's when I say like I mind my business when you loud, but when you're quiet, I get what's going on.
Like what's going on here? But I think I'd rather you be in my face and tell me how you really feel versus going behind my back.
Yeah.
Please don't go behind my back.
It's trust issues too, but we're not gonna get into that. And we'll be here for a whole nother.
This would be a whole different conversation. But yeah, no, I'd rather you deal with me face to face and tell me what's going on correctly.
Please.
Like come at me correct. But like when you go and he said she said behind my back, like, and then it comes back to me, now we got an issue.
We got a big one.
Now we got to talk. Now, so how do you, outside of like being home, what ways do you find best recharge you from having to deal with
home? Like literally, like not even going. I'm not even going lately. Let me say lately. It's been home. Used to it was like all women evolve events used to recharge me. Like I'm my most authentic self at a woman evolve event. Like I mean, other than home. But home, there's no other. I have to go home.
I think for me, I like being surrounded by my friends. Like
I love y'all.
Yeah, I like,
but
and I feel. I'll explain it. Like I get it. I like going home. I like being by myself. But when I'm having to deal with different people who don't know me and who don't understand half of the humor that I have, or they don't understand like my walk in life because they don't walk the same like spiritual life with me. Y'all are places where I can go recharge on that aspect.
Okay, I see. Okay.
Yeah. As far as like getting my energy back, no, baby, it's at my house. But like as far as like feeling like I'm connected to somebody, like I have that grounding. I think it's more of a grounding thing for me is being around y'all.
I think
and go and eat my mama's food.
You know.
Okay. Hey y'all. So we're back. Let me tell you what had happened. So what had happened was we were recording.
It was good, y'all.
It was fantastic. Like the conversation got real good. Then we realized my phone died.
I was looking at the green light that I'm looking at right now. That mug went off. And I was like, that light is off. And then she was like, oh, the mics must be dead. Let's just keep going. No.
The phone is dead. So we gotta go maybe 30 minutes of audio.
Part 2.
We're back. We're in a different location because once we finish with this,
we're going straight to church.
It's about to be a party.
Well, after I make my shirt, because I gotta make my shirt first.
Oh yeah, we got content to make today, so that's gonna be fun.
I mean, it's not gonna take long. I probably don't even do it today because we're in a rush. What time? I don't have my watch.
Well, it's 2:30.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we have good time. We got time. We're gonna stick around with y'all for about 2 minutes, and we're gonna cut this joint.
We're gonna do it real quick. So where did we leave off?
Who knows?
Ain't no telling. So I'm just gonna hop into like the first question
I
got. So of the questions, I think the one that makes me giggle the most is, what have you learned about yourself by living alone?
That I like living alone. That I like living, and I like certain things, certain places. Like I'm very particular. And I mean, you've probably seen this, but a lot of people come to my house. I'm like, I'm sorry for the mess, and they're like, "What mess?" And I'm like, that pencil is not supposed to be there. That needs to go back there. I'm so sorry. I was writing, and so like I learned that I like stuff in a particular way, and it was because how I was raised. Sometimes things are just thrown everywhere. But I thought I was a messy person, and I'm really not. I mean, my car, that doesn't count, but my house, if it's not clean, I am not well. So like, I like things particular. I like it making it my safe haven. So like, things being in a particular spot, it's a reason for it.
I get that.
So yeah,
I think for me, kind of around the same thing is like I like my peace.
for sure.
I am a comedian. I make myself laugh 24/7. Like,
My life should be on YouTube. Literally a secret camp.
listen,
I act around my house like there's a secret camera watching me, and I'm trying to give them
I feel like I'm on an
entertainment.
episode of Office because I'd be looking at the
I've
imaginary audience.
never
It
seen The
is
Office.
dry funny, so I think you may like it, but it's a
I
very dry
can't. I be
humor.
watching like clips on TikTok and stuff, and I'm like, this is stupid.
Exactly.
Oh, that's the point.
That is the point.
Oh, is it really the point of the show?
That's really it's like it's as what is the word I'm looking for? It's making fun of an office day-to-day life.
Okay, so now I
So,
really need to watch it with the thought of it's supposed to be stupid.
yeah, so
Got
like
it.
yeah, it's not supposed to be a serious show at all because Michael Scott is not serious.
I don't even know who Michael Scott
He
is.
is the manager.
Got
You
it.
like
Now I gotta watch it.
watch it. It's good up until he leaves. That's my personal opinion.
Well, thank you for telling me he leaves.
I'm sorry.
Now I'm gonna be watching it like, when is he gonna leave?
I'm not gonna tell you that part.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is it in the first season though?
No.
Okay, cool.
You have like you have seasons.
How many seasons are there?
I have no idea. It's a lot though.
I'm gonna look that up right now.
It's fun.
Hey Alexa, how many seasons of The Office is there? Wow, 2005 through 15. This 10 years. Good job, Office. I'm proud of y'all.
Proud of you. But yeah, I'm a high key comedian at home, and I enjoy like you said, I like stuff in a specific place, and I'm clean. Like living in my mom's house, I was always in like a smaller room, so it got dirty fast, or it got messy fast. Not dirty, but like I thought that was just because I was a messy person, but I had a small space, and so moving into my own apartment, I'm like, no, I'm actually very clean. I like stuff put away. I also would like to thank my grandma for the Sunday deep or the Saturday deep cleans before Sunday service. Gospel music blasting.
Mine was always Anthony Hamilton, never gospel, but I mean, I felt the same. I get it. Anthony Hamilton or Tyrese played continuously.
Yeah, I loved it.
I can describe. I don't know the album names, but I know the front covers of the album like vividly. I'm looking at it. I can see it.
You can see it, yeah.
Those were
No,
my
I
albums.
remember like being able to like waking up and all I hear is like, and when I say gospel, I'm not talking about like today's gospel or
I'm talking about
even
Shirley
like
Caesar.
I'm talking about Shirley Caesar. I'm talking about
Williams Brothers.
Way back. Sounded like it came from a cassette because it came from a cassette.
That's why.
Which brings me to this question. What is some advice you would give your younger self with what you've learned in life now and as an introvert that's kind of like maneuvering through everything?
To trust myself. We asked this in the last one. I want to let y'all know that, but the phone was dead. But the answer is still the same. It's to trust myself. But I've from that time to now, I did figure out different reasons why. I remember like I used to love going to church. Like that was one of my, like I've always loved going to church. So like it didn't start when I grew up. I've always loved going to church. I was sad like when I didn't go to church and stuff, but I didn't have a church home. But like, and I didn't really want to find a church home in my hometown because like word gets around fast. Like I couldn't be fully in the presence of God, I felt like, at the different churches. But goes back to trusting myself because I've always loved God heavily. Like my favorite genre in music since I was a baby. I'm not gonna say baby, but since I could remember was gospel. And people would come to my house, or not my house, in my car and stuff like that. And I'm playing gospel and they're confused because we're about to go to the club. Yeah, but we're about to pray too. Like, what do you mean? Like, we're playing gospel because it's my favorite genre of music ever. It's always been. And so I used to get called lame and like, but like you to chill out, or like we don't want to come in your car if you're gonna be playing this, or we don't want to do this with you. Like if you're talking about, like, it was just a lame aspect when I was growing up. But now that I'm older, Like I did stray away, of course, everybody has, but when I got older, I realized like you went the long way to come back to exactly who you were back then, and you didn't trust yourself. I think that I would have, if I would have trusted myself, half the things that I dealt with, I wouldn't have dealt with because I knew something was wrong with me when it came to like something like with my, I wouldn't say wrong, let me not say that, but I knew I had something mentally going on when I had like my breakdowns and like my lashing out. I knew like that's not normal. It's something, but people just said you just have a bad attitude. You just need to control your attitude. So I worked harder on how to control my attitude than really seeking out the problem. But I knew it was something wrong. But they were telling me something else, so I wasn't trusting myself. I was trusting somebody else's words. So yeah, trusting myself.
I think we do that a lot. We like to like tend to the leaves, but not tend to the roots.
Yeah.
And that's a word for somebody. Tend to the roots before you worry about the leaves. The leaves will work themselves out when you start to deal with what's going on underneath. One thing I think I said back then or Sunday was was don't be afraid to be yourself, or like something along the lines of like don't be afraid to enjoy life.
Yeah.
And after going through this week, it's also don't lessen your voice for somebody else.
Yeah. For sure.
I think I've told this story before. If not, we're gonna go there. So I was telling you, I was the only Black child.
Oh yeah, yeah.
In a preschool.
The phone was dead. We didn't
The
get
phone
that.
was dead. The phone was dead. I was the only Black kid in a preschool, and I didn't realize how much that truly like affected how I allowed myself to show up in the world. But the funny part about that was like the only reason I know this is because my mom would always bring up the fact that we had this
This is
program. We had this program and they had us draw ourselves on like life size drawings of ourselves on some paper. Of course, I'm the only brown piece of paper. And I go to my mom and I'm like, hey, mom, I bet you can't tell which one is me. And she's such a good woman because
because I would have been like,
embraced
I can
my
take a really big guess. I mean, I'm just
problem.
guessing here. I'm just guessing, but maybe the brown piece of paper.
Maybe the brown one, but she did such a good job at not making me feel isolated. And the only reason like I ever grew to like really feel isolated was then growing up and going to the different schools that that I got my education from that were predominantly white. And
was it an instant realization?
Kinda. It was one of those like, okay, this don't sound way off. The moment I grew conscious of who I was standing in a mirror and I was like, wait, I'm a person. And so it didn't click. And I think that was around 6 or 7 because like I believe kids grow up and they don't really realize who they are or that they are a person until it's something just like randomly. So for me, when I realized like looking in the mirror and I'm like finally recognizing who I see in the mirror, like I look different than everybody in my school. Um, People I went to school with, I didn't have a lot of friends. I had on hand 2 possibly. I had one friend who didn't even go to my school who was my best friend at the time. And so like not having her around, and she was of a different ethnicity, and so I felt, I guess we got along more because we weren't the white kids. We weren't.
Yeah.
So we got along on that aspect. Plus our moms were friends. So like that was my ride or die. Then they ended up moving and leaving. So then I was like, okay, I really don't have friends in this school. Teachers would make people play with me, like, and so it was kind of a slow recognition of, oh, I'm not like these people. How do I fit in as best as possible? And instead of just like staying true to who I was, I kind of just molded to whatever crowd that I ended up with, and that caused me a lot of like, I wouldn't say I was bullied in school, but like underlying bullying, just like people who would laugh at like everybody being on a joke and I'm just kind of here. Or remember one day like a braid fell out in the middle of my math class, and making a haha joke of myself so that no one else can do it. Still dealing with the embarrassment of that, and I just kind of slowly started dimming my light for everybody else that was around me. And it took me becoming an adult and figuring out, okay, I'm not like my brothers who grew up totally different than I did. Like we
Right.
grew up in the same house, but they grew up with a mom, one who first was in the world before she got saved,
Mm-hmm.
and so then she shifted, and I grew up with a mother who knew Christ, and she protected me and she like sheltered me a lot from a lot of stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
so I would go back and tell her, you're okay. Like you are fantastic. You have people who are gonna love you for who you are. Like the person that I am today, I think is who I needed then.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sad for her, but I don't have empathy for her because I know she's gonna grow and be great.
Right.
And so like I have a lot of moments where I'm like, wow, I'm a superhero to my younger self.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever said that out loud.
I think for me, I'll say this. I probably wouldn't have protected myself as like being like, you know how like now you see little kids and like the hee hee ha ha,
Mm-hmm.
and like, you know, you're like, don't do that. No, don't do
Yeah.
that. I needed to come into my voice. I probably wouldn't have protected per se,
Mm-hmm.
but I would have talked to her. Stand up for yourself, but like stand up in this way. Don't stand up in this way. Because I used to fight. I used to fight, and it was really bad. God delivered me for that. I'm pretty sure I can't fight no more. I'm just pretty
Mm-hmm.
sure I cannot. But like when I was younger, I used to let people like I when I was younger, so I did grow up in a predominantly white school, but we did have black people around. Like I did have black friends and stuff like that. All through grade school, I
Mm-hmm.
literally had a white best friend. Like, and so then, but I had black friends, and then when I got to middle school, it was more black people. So then I got
Mm-hmm.
a black best friend or whatever because me and my other best friend, like we kind of like drifted away because we weren't in school, the same school no more, or there were some of us that we were in the same school, but we drifted up into our friend group. Like,
Mm-hmm.
um and then 12th grade, of course, same friends or whatever, we just grew closer, and then I made newer friends. But I used to fight a lot. Like I used to hit people before they could insult me because I got insulted a lot. People, y'all, telling me I'm small is not a compliment. It's actually really annoying. Stop that. I'm just saying. But like that was one of the things. You're so small. Do you eat?
Oh, I used to hate that question. I still get that question. You're too small. I can't help how my body decides to hold the weight that it holds.
Right. So but I used to swing. Like I literally used to swing. I used to. They would ask me that question. I just hit them. Like I would just hit them. It got to the point where the teacher was like, leave her alone. Like stop talking to her. Why do you keep talking to her?
Like you keep getting the
Like, and it was
same
different people, and
reaction.
it was always like it's happened at least twice in each of my classes. So I
Mm-hmm.
had 8 classes, at least 16 times in a year. It would happen where I would hit somebody, and majority of it sometimes would be in the hallways. But like the first like 5 times, I was getting suspended. After that, they were like, "Leave her alone! Like stop talking to her." But I would tell her like, "D, first of all, you ain't got to hit them for them to listen to you. Ignore them. That
Mm-hmm.
hurts louder than you really hitting them. Like show them that doesn't bother me and walk in purpose that you're supposed
Mm-hmm.
to walk in." But yeah, because I wasn't for it when I was younger. Like I
I
just
wish I fought more when I was a child.
no, you didn't. I promise you.
I
Like
not in a physical, but I like you said, I wish I fought back more, even like verbally,
yeah.
because like I, I I don't know. I do believe that in my seeing myself different, that kind of led me into being an introvert. I was talking about this with my brother this morning. I was like, I say I'm an introvert, but I do realize I'm an ambivert. I have my moments where I do really well
Hmm.
with extroverted people. Like I can match your energy. Energy for we can
Hmm.
match. But I do tend to lean more into the introverted side of myself because that's where I was always the safest. I
Hmm.
wasn't always safe being extroverted because I would feel like people would judge me for
Hmm.
how I like to show up, like being loud and happy and like making jokes. And so I was like, it makes it harder to do stuff like this
Yeah.
because like this is putting myself out there for people to judge, which I mean, you gonna judge whatever you gonna judge. I really don't care at this point. Do you? But at the same time, I'm like, I do kind of wish I would have did more, um, especially like in high school,
Hmm.
elementary, middle school. I was naive. High school, I knew better, didn't do better. How has how have you navigated your friendships, understanding who you are, understanding like what makes you tick, and like no, I wouldn't say being an introvert. Well, it does affect our friendships to an extent because we do have to put a lot more in energy into them. But how have you navigated it?
Being my authentic self, like 100% authentic.
Mhm.
Um, I first of all, I'm so introverted that I will let you know, like, I used to do this. I'm doing way better. I used to hang up on people. And like my friends would know it. Like
Mhm.
when I'm quiet, I just click up. I'll just hang up. I wouldn't say like bye. And it's because like my battery's finally low. There's nothing I can do but get off the phone with you because I've had too many people for one day. But I've learned how to authentically be myself in a nicer way, if I could say that, in a more respectful way. Because I used to like literally we'd be on the phone and but I was like, all right, click up and I just go lay in bed, do nothing. And they'd be like, yeah, you were tired of talking on the phone. I'm like, yeah. Like and I'll text them back like, yeah. But
Mhm.
now I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna let you go. Like that's how I like and I'm off the phone. But like being my authentic self because like I do get tired of talking to people. I do
Mhm.
get tired of being around people. I do get tired like I want to crawl up and be by myself. And my job is literally being a socialite. I'm a
Mhm.
social worker, so I have to be social. So like coming home if I don't talk to somebody, like I built my friendship on authenticity
Mhm.
because I need them to understand. I'm not fixing to make it seem like I'm going to be there 24/7 or I'm going to do this 24/7. I'm going to do this 24/7 because I'm not.
Mhm.
And I need you to know that. So from the get go, like you're not gonna hear from me for weeks, maybe. And no, I'm not ghosting. And sometimes it's not in my intention to do that.
Mhm.
And like, I mean, we text and be like, okay, like, hey, just checking in and stuff like that. But like, you may not hear from me on the phone for weeks or maybe even a month or so because like, I just don't want to talk on the phone. But like, maybe when we do talk on the phone, we're on phone for 3 hours. But like, you've already established that in our friendship
Mhm.
because I've been authentic from day one. Like, I'll let you know. I have friends be like, I need to talk to you on the phone. You can text it or you can voice memo it, but I don't want to talk on the phone. Like I'm
No, I get that.
like so just being completely authentic about who I am, where I am, what I need.
Mhm.
I'm learning not to ghost anymore. I was really bad at that. I was horrible at it. Like and it was never personal, but people would take it personal.
Mhm.
And I remember learning like I can't judge anybody's perception of me or whatever. I just have to change the perception for them basically. So like
Mhm.
people that I was like rude or whatever because I would ghost and I'm like, no, it's nothing personal. Like it would be nothing personal. I just don't feel like talking on the phone no more. Like and so I had to learn you have to communicate this because they are taking it personal. And even though
Mhm.
you don't mean it personal, it kind of seems like it is because you didn't communicate that. So like I learned that. But like I mean, I'm learning myself, but I'm taking y'all on a ride with me. So it's like and I always tell y'all can hop off. Like, is it too much? I know y'all won't, but like if y'all need a break, completely
Mhm.
understand and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I think I said it earlier in our recording that wasn't either it wasn't recorded on Sunday or I said it earlier in what was recorded. Um, no one is forced to be my friend, and so learning to allow people in has been different,
Hmm.
which I think I've said a couple times, but it's been a process because I am so used to people only wanting to be my friend for selfish reasons. Either they are bored and there's no one else around, and
Hmm.
so I'm the last resort. And I never realized it until I like kind of sat down and really had a retrospect of like the different friendships that I have. And it's like, okay, you only want to hang out because you don't have XYZ around, and when they're around, I can barely get any words out of you, or you change up as soon as something better comes along, or you change up when you get into a relationship. And I'm like, so now I'm learning to be more vocal about what I need in a relationship or
Hmm.
in my friendships at least. And not get overstimulated. And I learned who I can handle and how much of whoever I can handle at a time.
So I have a question. I know you said that, but that made me think of a question. How do you express that to them though? Like if you're like, hey, I can only handle this, this, and this, knowing the person, like, do you express that to them or
Yeah.
you just
Yeah. It'd be
put it
like I'd be
on?
like, hey, I love you, but I don't have the capacity to like handle this right now.
Hmm.
Or I love you, but right now I am overstimulated and I cannot be the best friend that I know to be for you in this
Because of
point in
this.
time
Yeah.
because of this. Because I get overstimulated so easily.
Oh, for sure.
And I do
Not
my,
that, but I understand. That's what I
yeah,
meant when I said, oh, for sure. Keep going.
I do my best not to let that affect you.
Hmm.
So, like, I even do this. like at work, I'm like, I'll get to myself or I'll get real quiet. And it's not that I'm annoyed, but I'm overstimulated and it comes off as, oh, she's annoyed.
Yeah.
No, I'm just at a point where like I need to go ball up in a corner, please.
Please.
Please just give me a bed and I'll be okay. And about better food. It's one or the other. Like 95% it's food, but the other 5% it's put me in a room.
Mm-hmm.
But even in that, I'm learning like it's okay to allow people, like, let them in on why I'm overstimulated. Hey, I had a long day at work. I really ain't got it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had a terrible flight. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, which is honestly true. You can wake up on the wrong, like, you can wake up and your attitude is just not there. Like, I woken up sad and I hate the question and I ask it to other people and I try not to. I hate asking, are you okay? Or how are you? Because I'm automatically going to cry. And it's not, and it's because I don't check in on that aspect. Like, I don't, I'm always
That's why
like,
that question is there. So to
yeah,
help you check in.
yeah. And,
But I'm not gonna ask that to people that I don't care about. No offense. Like, let me say that.
exactly.
Like, I'll say I hope all is good
Mm-hmm.
before I ask you how you are. Because if you say you're having a horrible day and I don't want to have a solution for that,
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna, like, yeah. So like I have to be cautious about who I ask how are you to.
Yeah.
Because like if I ask you how are you, I know I have the capacity to help you handle
Mm-hmm.
whatever answer you have. So if you say good, well that's good. If you say no, what's going on? How can I help? But like on a day-to-day basis, like
I
some
don't listen. I
people at
stopped
work,
asking.
I hope all is well, because if you tell me I'm having a bad day, so and so do that,
I'm praying
okay,
for you.
like
Like, and that sounds so like throw off, but no, like I automatically do just pray for you because if I don't have the capacity to, I know he does. Uh he
and I'm
does.
just gonna give it to him
I'm gonna
because
hand it to him. Like, and I do that. I do that for work. I don't. I'm like, I pray you're having a better day. Like, even for my friends who I'm not as close to now, because just life has life. I'm like, I pray all is well. That's
that's
all I
it.
have. I don't ask like, how are you? Because if you start crying, I'm gonna sit there.
If you start crying, I'm gonna be like, is those happy tears?
Like, why? What
What's going
happened?
on?
And it took forever for me to be able to even be a person that would like allow, not even allow, but like to embrace somebody if they are crying. And it's because I don't think I ever, mm, outside of my family, no, no one's ever just been there for me in a time where I needed to break down and have safety in it. And so learning to be that safe place has been also kind of
Learning for you to be that safe place. Oh,
like
that makes
for
sense.
me, and in learning to be that safe place, learning when I can't be it.
Mm-hmm.
Dealing with different things in people's lives, like learning that hey, I may not be the best person for that because I am immature in that area.
Well, you mature if you.
But I would like to thank you for joining me and allowing me to come back and do part 2.
Yeah, you're welcome. No, thank you for coming to my house.
Yes, yes.
Thank y'all for coming into my house.
I hope you've enjoyed this conversation. I hope it's helped you in some way, form, or fashion. Where can people find you when you come off hiatus?
__ it's Dierra. She gonna put it on there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, she gonna put it on there because I'm not spelling it. And I really want y'all don't even gotta follow my personal page. Follow my business page at Minding My Mental 1. On Instagram, you can find me on TikTok, I think, Minding My Mental 1. And you can find me on Facebook at Minding My Mental. And yeah.
Alrighty.
I'm sorry. I got calls. I don't know.
Anyway, this is the last episode for January. I'm taking a hiatus for February, so I hope y'all be Gucci. And remember, I love you. God loves you. Love Jesus. Love people. Enjoy your life. And I will see you in March.